Hey guys, the debate being framed for you right now, for your consumption in DC, the leaders of the red and the blue team are full force, hard and heavy, working on your behalf. That's what you're supposed to believe. We're supposed to believe the Republicans, the Tea Party, is out there looking for fiscal sanity in the wilderness, and they're going to do everything they can, including shutting down the government if they have to, in order to get it. And you're supposed to believe that the Democrats, these social bleeding heart liberals, are supposed to care about the social safety nets and the social programs of this country and the people of this country. And we've seen this cycle over and over again, this generating anger towards the other team. And it's a distraction. It's nothing more than the same old political schemes over and over again. This is how our government in D.C. operates. Has nothing to do with representing the people of this country, left or right. It has to do with establishing and maintaining nothing more than gridlock. That is why we have a divided election in 2010. That's why we have a divided Congress right now. And that's why absolutely nothing will get done. We're talking about $60 billion in a $3.8 trillion budget. Literally a drop in the bucket. We're talking about going after programs that the dollar amounts on them doesn't even equal the first day of invasion Libya. We're talking about getting a divide and conquer rhetoric going that will keep you and I arguing amongst ourselves about who's good, who's bad, who's right, who's wrong, when in reality, the people really in control are laughing all the way to the bank. Plain and simple. Special interests who have led us to a government system that is enveloped in gridlock and relies on gridlock to keep the status quo. And that is why the country is imploding right now. That's why our fiscal sanity has long since been lost. When you take into consideration this $60 billion cut, when you take into consideration the plan of the Democrats with a $30 billion cut, you need to also take into consideration that nothing is spoken of when it comes to the nearly $1 trillion a year we spend to keep our military in 5 engagements around the world, with more, it looks like, on the way, or the hundreds of bases we have around the globe to keep Empire America aloft. This isn't talked about. You don't hear anything about the trillions of dollars that are on the Federal Reserve's balance sheets that we have to sue and wait 2 years before we hear how foreign banks were a large recipient of this money. This isn't talked about at all. We're going to talk about things like, PBS, or we're going to talk about Medicare or Medicaid. There's plenty of money in this country to take care of the people of this country. There isn't plenty of money in this country to keep siphoning off the wealth of the nation and upwardly integrating it to a very select few. I'm going to attach a story to this video that shows in 2010, the top CEOs' pays, their base salary, increased 27% in 2010. Now, you're supposed to believe the recession was over because of trillions of dollars of bailouts and guarantees and ensuring the failure of the too big to fail. You're supposed to believe the economy's better, so it's okay that 27% increase can happen to the top CEOs. And a 47% increase can happen in their bonuses in 2010 when we're sitting with nearly 45 million people on food stamps, millions of people foreclosed on, and now it's coming out that the Fed is going to cut a deal with the banks. So even if they were, the banks fraudulently foreclosed on somebody, that's okay because they're going to pay a $20 billion fine. This system is locked in gridlock for a reason. It's so we can end up in a neo-feudal system where you have the peasants, that's everybody in the red and blue team, and the overlords, which are the people who truly are running our so-called representatives in D.C. Stories are attached. That's all I got.